After a 50C executive produced a Netflix documentary, other rappers' reactions swiftly escalated into one of the longest-running hip-hop feuds in recent memory. Numerous rappers wrote messages, released diss tracks, and exchanged insults, ranging from Jim Jones to T Papoose and Dame Dash. According to reports, almost 20 of them have now departed the nation. Everyone is on edge due to leaks and the news of 50 Cent's planned documentary. There is a lot of anxiety that careers in music could be destroyed. The rappers even left a message for 50 Cent before departing. Music. We're dissecting everything today. The messages, the leaked video, and the implications for the rap industry. You must comprehend what 50 Cent put together and why it became the most talked about documentary in hip-hop history in order to comprehend how we got here. In a 4-part documentary created by an Emmy-winning filmmaker and executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson The Reckoning, starring Alexandria Stapleton and Shan Combs, examines the media magnate, pop icon, and convicted criminal. On December 2nd, 2025, the series debuted on Netflix. Now, 50 Cent didn't put this together overnight. Executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson declared on December 7, 2023, that he was working on a Shan Combs documentary series, Music, and that the victims of Combs' alleged sexual misbehavior would benefit from the project's earnings. Jackson had been working on the project for 5 months, searching for people close to Combs who were prepared to talk and tell the truth, before he hired Alexandria Stapleton to direct the series. That establishes the mood. Before the filmmaker was even on board, 50 Cent spent months contacting individuals who had been close to Diddy. In a recent interview, Jackson, the project's executive producer, told NBC News that he and filmmaker Alexandria Stapleton worked on the documentary for more than a year and that it doesn't hold back. The 4-episode series follows Diddy's ascent to prominence in the music business and his downfall as a result of numerous lawsuits and allegations of rape, sexual assault, and trafficking. The first and second episodes revisit the tensions between the East and West Coasts in the 1990s, including the unsolved deaths of Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G., and Tupac Shakur. Wallace, I. Former LAPD detective Greg Kading, former NYPD Rap Intelligence Officer Derek Parker, and Tupac's relative William Lassine are among the interview subjects. However, the unexpected footage was the part that truly shocked the music business. Intimate footage of a helpless Combs curled up in his hotel room with dependable friends and allies during one of the most pivotal times in his life is shown in the documentary. The video, which was shot with Combs' knowledge, shows a genuine Combs in the days before his imprisonment. Combs was dealing with raids at the time and was the subject of a federal investigation. From his hotel room, he managed his residences, lawsuits, and headlines. When NBC News correspondent Chloe Mellis questioned 50 Cent about how he got the footage, Jackson responded, "I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources." And when asked whether Diddy even knew the footage was in the documentary, Stapleton replied, "Perhaps? Music." The director was unambiguous about one thing, stating, "It came to us. We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights. We moved heaven and earth to keep the filmmaker's identity confidential." After posing for photos with his fans, the rapper got back into his fancy car and informed everyone that he needed a wash and hand sanitizer. "Got in the car and said, I feel like I need to wash," 50 Cent stated. "I mean, I'm filthy." It reveals his personality. How likely are you to do that in front of a camera? Like, that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape. So, you have 50 Cent, a man who has had beef with Diddy for 2 decades. Now, executive producing a documentary about Diddy's alleged crimes with footage that Diddy's own team says was stolen. According to Deadline, Diddy said that Netflix's so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece. His camp also called Jackson a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta, but 50 Cent's position was not about personal grudges. He told GQ his reasoning plainly. "To be honest, just the culture itself is why I did it." He Music went on. "You would assume that everyone in hip-hop is okay with what's going on if nobody is saying anything. I'm not going to say anything because other rappers will say that. Because of Diddy's long-standing role in culture, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Do you get it? Therefore, I wouldn't have to say that I would do it." No one is present. The interest was supported by the numbers. The series received 21 views in the 6 days following its premiere. After Volume 1 of the 5th season of Stranger Things, it was the second most viewed Netflix title for the week of December 4th, 2025, with 8 million views. Even while the documentary itself was a huge event, the real pandemonium started in the aftermath when the artist who disapproved of 50 Cent's decision to do this documentary decided to inform him about it. The entire hip-hop community paid attention to some of those messages because they were loud enough. The team behind the Let's Rap About It podcast, Music, was the first significant group to openly pursue 50 Cent for the documentary, and they didn't hold back. In his Let's Rap About It podcast, which he co-hosts with fellow New York rappers Mino Fabulous and Music Dave East, 50 Cent attacked Jim Jones on Monday, December 15th, for criticizing his documentary film Sean Combs' The Reckoning. While in a recent episode of the show, the former member of Dipset expressed disapproval with 50 Cent's executive production of the documentary Music, which explores Diddy's purported history of exploitation, abuse, and domestic violence, Jim Jones spoke without holding back. "You don't want anybody doing a documentary trying to make your whole character look weak. That's petty behavior. It's really not a documentary. It's more like a mockumentary," Jones said in defense of Diddy. Music. Now, if you know anything about 50 Cent, you know that kind of criticism doesn't go unanswered. "I understand Diddy was your hero. Stay down with him. I don't care if you let him play with your butt and then act like you don't remember," 50 retaliated on Instagram before attacking the entire podcast team. In a different post, the Gunit General attacked Dave East, Fabulous, and Mayo in his tirade, saying, "These guys are squatters. These bums are trying to win the Best Dressed award and can't pay their bills," the statement reads. They owe $250,000 for the venue where they are taping their podcast. He didn't just say it with words. He started his carousel post with the definition of what a squatter is, music, before adding a photo of the 4 rappers and their podcast logo. From there, he included screenshots of a news report that said Jones lost his home in New Jersey, Music, and passed images of Jones out at events with Diddy. This is the 50 Cent playbook. He doesn't just clap back, Music. He turns the response into a full visual presentation designed to embarrass you publicly. Music. And the Let's Rap About It crew was not about to sit there and take it. While Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Dave East had yet to respond, Mayo took it upon himself to lock horns with 50 Cent in an equally derisive Instagram post. The Brooklyn native shared an edited photo of Fifth as a woman and wrote, "Meet Killer Curly, ladies and gentlemen. Emma will always be appreciative of him for helping me land my record deal. Thus, it would hurt me to drag this nugget to hell. Curtis, is the issue. What is causing your G-unit G-string to clutter? Nugger, music, is it the... or the diabetes? But let's rap about it." Then came the freestyle that really escalated things. Fabulous, Jim Jones, Mayo, and Dave East decided to turn their beef with 50 Cent into a freestyle over his beats. After 50 Cent called them broke squatters, Fabulous joked about renaming their podcast Let's Squat About It. One of Fab's most notable lines alluded to the squatter accusations 50 Cent had previously made against the group online. The freestyle was named Squatters' Rights. In a recent social media post, Fifth hinted that he won't be investing in negative energy before 2025 is out and 2026 is in. However, a storm is definitely coming. And that storm came. Months later, 50 Cent and Max B released a diss, music track, targeting Jim Jones and his podcast crew in a new video for No More Tricks, No More Tries. 50 didn't just respond with bars. He had been methodically attacking Jim Jones on Instagram for weeks, posting surveillance footage purportedly being evicted. Now let's start the games. Mayo followed up on Wednesday, March 11th, with his own diss track, Bleed Like Us. As a result, an entire podcast crew, consisting of 4 well-known New York rappers, sent a message to Music 50 Cent regarding his documentary, and he ended up getting into a month-long war with him. Music and this one had even higher stakes because 50 Cent wasn't just going to fire back with memes. He hinted at making another documentary, this time about T and his wife Tiny. Smart. The back and forth between 50 Cent and Ty had been going on for years. One of the most talked about songs was The Right One, in which T.I. took harsh personal jabs at his rival, even bringing up his late mother and his baby mama Daphne Joy, who was later romantically linked to Diddy. However, after helping produce a Netflix documentary series about the abuse allegations surrounding Diddy, 50 Cent appears ready to shine a similar spotlight on T and his wife Tiny. Hut Music, the rumoured project, would reportedly explore past allegations related to the couple. On Thursday, March 5th, 50 Cent fueled the rumours. Dame assumed I wouldn't show up. I hope your promotional tour is not ruined by this. They will inquire about your 20 cases of sexual assault. Perhaps you should speak with a crisis public relations specialist. The caption alludes to Dame Dash's reference to 50 Cent's silence prior to releasing the Diddy documentary. The implication was clear. 50 Cent's pattern is silence before the storm, and T.I. should be worried. Ty's response was to go even harder. Ty maintained composure in the face of ongoing tensions with 50 Cent, who recently threatened to release a controversial documentary about T and his wife Tiny. The feud between the two rappers intensified. We can go bar for bar, hit for hit. Oh, doc for music doc, he said, captioning it with a biting response. In any case, all you're going to do is demonstrate how much of an FNU you are. Let's play, nobody is afraid of you here, boo-boo. Then T released a new song called Trauma Bond, which features sharp lyrics that seem to be aimed at 50 Cent. The beef didn't end with just 50 and T.I. After 50 Cent posted pictures and AI clips that included Ty, Tiny, Music, and even the Harris sons, King and Demeni, jumped on tracks of their own, Music, and the beef turned into one of the messiest family affairs hip-hop has seen in years. In a music interview, T.I. even mentioned that the moment he said enough was when his son King appeared on social media wearing a t-shirt featuring 50 Cent's mother. If you think the story ends with the Let's Rap About It crew and T.I., you are Music not paying attention because 50 Cent's documentary didn't just enrage a few rappers, it seemed to open the floodgates for every rapper who had a grievance with him to pile on. In addition to 50 Cent's beef with T.I., he also has beef with Papoose, the Let's Rap About It podcast, Dame Dash, and many more. Seeing an opportunity, Papoose jumped in and posted an AI-generated video of 50 Cent dancing in heels, Music, along with a caption criticising him for dodging and deflecting smoke from Mayo Fabulous and the rest of the Let's Rap About It podcast crew. However, Papoose's beef with 50 Cent didn't start over. It all started with veteran rapper and Terror Squad alum Remy Ma. Despite her loyalty to his former rival Fat Joe, 2007 to 2014. Since then, the two have been close. She had been dating Papoose since 2004 before they were married over the phone in 2008. The situation worsened in 2026. On March 11, 2026, Papoose released his fully produced diss track, Music, Agent Provocator, with images posted on Instagram. In the song, Papoose questioned the embellished gunshot survival story, attacked 50 Cent Street's credibility, and made fun of his queen's authenticity. In response, the Gannett mogul reportedly used Instagram to post an AI-generated image of himself in front of a whiteboard with the message, "You Music, make one-hit record, and I'll respond. Go hang out with your boyfriend, that is your girlfriend until then." Then there's Dame Dash, who shared that he was collaborating with Supreme's son, 50's long-standing sworn enemy, on a documentary about Supreme Music McGriff. 50. who was shot several times at the beginning of his recording career, has accused Supreme of putting out the hit on him. Supreme is also a close buddy of the 50's other adversaries, Ja Rule and the late Irv Gotti. Dame Dash had attempted to put an end to the conflict before, but 50 stopped it. 50 posted on social media saying, "Oh wait," in his fictitious conversation, GPT lawsuit. Cam recently mentioned Dame, sounds. So it's you, Dame. This move guarantees that the rapper will never work with Dash. Additionally, the beef has escalated because 50 Cent is known to harbour long-standing grudges. Dame Dash has also been making jabs, music linking up with Papoose in some posts, and maintaining the old Rockefeller tension. Even Fivio Foreign weighed in on the matter. And the New York drill rapper turned his attention to 50 and his rival from Atlanta, and his family, Papoose, Dame Dash, and Benino. All of these rappers, in one way or another, sent 50 Cent a message music through social media posts, diss tracks, interviews, or AI-generated memes. They made their displeasure known, shot their shots, and many of them stepped back or pivoted to other things. But 50 Cent is still right here, still posting, still trolling, still making moves. Music. This is what makes 50 Cent one of the most amazing figures in contemporary hip-hop. The Sean Combs The Reckoning documentary wasn't just a hit for Music Netflix. 90% of 10 reviews on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes are positive. Music. The consensus on the website reads, "I'm meticulous and sober rather than sensational." Now that we've covered all the rappers who have left 50 Cent a music message, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this isn't just about beef. Music Sean Combs The Reckoning is a well-written, comprehensive account whose growing, solidly supported accusations have a profound effect. The documentary included testimony that the general public had never heard before. The documentary features interviews with people who were once close to Diddy, many of whom are sharing their stories for the first time. These people include Bad Boy Entertainment co-founder Kirk Barois, former assistant and executive Capricorn Clark, Bad Boy artists like Aubrey Day, Kenna Harper, and Mark Curry, jurors from Combs' federal case, and people who have filed civil suits music against Combs. The director talked about the process of getting people to talk, saying, "I've had many off-record conversations. I've had the opportunity to speak with a few people to confirm and fact-check certain details, but they declined to participate in an interview for a variety of reasons." There was a lot of fear in the song. Combs' tentacles reached widely, and I believe that many people want to move past this. Many people are finding it difficult to be so attached to his legacy and wish to be free of it. Fear. That word keeps coming up. Fear was the reason why many people wouldn't participate. Music. Fear was the reason why no one in hip-hop said anything publicly for years. 50 Cent positioned himself as the only one who wasn't afraid, telling ABC News and Robin Roberts, "If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop being fine with his behaviours." This statement alone tells you everything about the state of the music industry. Music. Now, after the success of The Reckoning, 50 Cent is not slowing down. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is kicking off the new year with his latest project, this time collaborating with A&E for a true crime series titled Gang Wars. The rapper-producer confirmed the news on Tuesday evening, simply writing in an Instagram post, "Gang Wars coming soon, A&E. I got some heat. Music." In addition, there are the ongoing rumours regarding the T.I. documentary. If 50 Cent is actually working on a surviving documentary about T and Tiny, this feud may soon move from Instagram and diss tracks to the small screen. In addition, 50 Cent has teased new music. Since his last actual studio album came out in 2014, hip-hop has changed so much music, with streaming, beefs on social media, and new generations stepping up. However, 50 Cent's new album algorithm is shaping up as more than music. Let's get family Papoose, Dame Dash, and everyone else in the mix. Jim Jones referred to the documentary as a mockumentary. Mino shared edited images and amazing spit bars over 50 Cent's own beats. Ty released several diss tracks and told 50 Cent that no one fears him. Papoose collaborated with Supreme McGriff's son to work on a documentary about 50 Cent's sworn enemy. Dame Dash partnered with Supreme McGriff's son to work on a documentary about 50 Cent's sworn enemy. After the exchange, several of these rappers moved on to their own projects. The rapper and TV producer has a reputation for turning rap drama into full-fledged entertainment, so when he goes quiet on the internet, it usually means something is brewing. For this reason, every rapper who sends him a message needs to be ready for what's coming up, because, as the past few months have shown, 50 Cent doesn't forget. The documentary about Diddy was years in the making. The beef with Jim Jones has been building for more than 10 years. The tensions with T.I. date back to the mid-2000s, and 50 Cent has turned all of these conflicts into content, documentaries, and social media moments that garner millions of views. Whether it's Jim Jones, Ty, Papu, Dame Dash, or whoever comes next, 50 Cent has demonstrated that he can turn any conflict into a business opportunity. That's not just a hip-hop story. It's a study in how to control a narrative in the age of social media, streaming, music, and documentary film. Therefore, the next time a rapper decides to send 50 Cent a message, they might want to consider whether they're ready for the reply, which could take the form of a 4-part documentary on